Now in this video I'm going to talk to you about my gold settlement trade that I took on Wednesday, I think it was. So as you can see, the settlement price actually is at 130 each day, and this is where they fix the price, and price moves a certain amount of distance from there. So I've just marked up the fair value gap, and I'm looking and waiting for a reversal at this point. You can see there has been some resistance already at that level. We've got an inverted fair value gap since 130. We saw that swing low, and I'm just waiting for the confirmation actually. And this is something I have to say I'm really proud that I was actually able to excuse me, how I was actually able to wait and take my and wait and have patience before my entry. I must admit I did want to enter earlier, but I said no, just wait. And as you can see, I entered just as it passed and inverted that fair value gap. Now, obviously I am expecting it to dip back into it, and so that's what I was waiting for now, before price moves up higher. And I'll be honest with you, that was my second entry there, and I put my stop loss below the swing low or just above it as such. And I'm conscious that price could even drop even further, but I'm really trying to make sure that I keep my stop loss in place. Now as we approach that settlement price, I'm saying to myself, on the next pullback I will look to make another entry. I've only got micro contracts on there, 0.01, so really not a lot, but as you can see, it's a good set of points to my take profit, 200 and odd points also to my TP, which is obviously also at a key level. Now there was the pullback, and so I added in a third, and now it is just literally a case of waiting for price to reach my take profit. Now all in all, from 130 to me placing the trades took all in all half an hour. And I'll be honest with you, I was doing this, I was really quite calm, because I was like, yeah, this is happening, it felt right, all the signatures were right. You can see actually I did try to do a trade before 130, and I stopped myself because I said no, wait until the settlement price has been fixed before you jump in. Now there is a little bit of back and forth, and it's just literally a case of waiting. Once we don't get into too much drawdown, and once I don't obviously hit my stop loss, I'm alright, and I can be patient when it looks so kind of clean and obvious. And gold for me is beginning to be a thing that I trade, because it seems to be clean at certain times of the day, and these signatures are very apparent. But it really is about trading only when the time is right for you. So this 130 time is right, and if this signature appears, then I'm going to take the trade. Gold during Asia is always right, but it's a difficult time for me to trade at that time of the day. And I'll be honest with you, after NQ does whatever it likes whenever it wants. And looking at that 1 hour perspective, I can see that we're still on an uptrend, and I move my stop loss up to make sure I secure it in case it does turn back. And you notice how these candles are getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and it's slowing down. Is it gonna have a push what's going to drive it up to my take profit, I don't know. But this is really difficult for me to kind of sit through watching all of these tiny little candles. And when you start to see this, you then have to start to wonder, is it worth waiting? As you can see, I brought my take profit down, because I'm just like, do I need to? If it's not going up there quickly, maybe it isn't going to get there at all. And it's just hard to kind of sit through all of that. And you've got to look at, well, what have you got so far? And if it's enough, then maybe that's just enough. And as I am still working on my psychology, this was a really good lesson for me, and shows that there is some level of growth. I take one trade off, and then I just say, sod it, let me just close it all, and then that is it. So that was a really good gold trade. I as I said, I really did like this one. I enjoyed it. Everything worked out the way it's supposed to. I was in control. There wasn't lots of back and forth of me not knowing which direction I was going to go or not go. And I just only wish that every single trade was like this. So tell me how you've been getting on this week. Thanks ever so much for watching. Do like, subscribe, drop a comment. And I'll see you on the next video.